Hello everyone, Rental here, really not that ultralight. Looks like you bumped into this video because you're interested in learning a little bit more about this sleeping pad, the NEOAIR XLITE women's version. What comes with this upgrade, what accessory comes with this upgrade, and a little bit about this little mechanism here. So let's get started. Let's talk wing lock valves. State of the state here real quick. As you all know or may not know, we just got back from our trip early. February 2020, we spent 30 days, Unicorn and myself, in Vietnam before all the chaos hit, and we were due to do the PCT this year in 2020. It's now the end of May as I'm releasing this video, and that has been delayed because of all the recent chaos that has happened. So we were fortunate enough to be able to do a section of the Appalachian Trail to test out some gear. So that's where we're at right now. And the second thing I want to explain to the public right now, if you don't really know, is I do three types of reviews. I do initial reviews when I haven't tested out the product. I consider this a mid-review when I'm actually using the product a little bit, where I haven't really tested it to the fullest, and then also post-review is where I feel that I beat a product down to the pulp and I can give a final decision. But I consider this NEOAIR XLITE a mid-review because we put 70 miles on it and a few nights in the woods on the Appalachian Trail. So it's a good review. We've used it. Don't want to get too caught up in the specs. As you know, I'm not really big on the super specs because you can find out that information so many places online, like what R value means. This is an R value 5.4 NEOAIR XLITE for this is the women's edition, but the R value is 5.4. I don't really want to get into that right now in terms of the R value because there are so many different things that can play into R value that I believe changes that outcome. The sleeping bag, we had our tent, I had wool on, it was 30 some odd degrees. I mean, I was warm, but I don't really want to touch in on that. In terms of the length and everything, I'll get into that a little bit later. And let's see what's actually in the box right now. Beside right here, of course, here's the pad. But if you want to see what's in the box, let's just take it all out really. The box. It's got the stuff sack, which actually I didn't use the stuff sack. I used the Gossam regular stuff sack, but I didn't want to get into that. Warning, repair kit, instructions, how to use the wing lock. Talk about that wing lock in a bit. And here is the pump sack to blow up your sleeping bag. That comes with it. So that's what's different in this edition, of course, is you get this big old bag, which I should be able to put all this miscellaneous stuff in right now. And also the sleeping bag, or the sleeping pad that is. And it comes with this new wing lock technology. It's what we struggled with in the first place, is the air coming out of the Uberlite, because that's what we used last time, was the Uberlite, and it was seeping air out of it. So this time they came up with like this dual wing lock. It's like a dual closure, and I'll get to that in a little bit once I zoom the camera in on the quality control, as I like to do on the whole product, and then we can move forward from there in terms of how I believe the build quality is, and then we'll get into the whole weight, and then Unicorn's actually going to go through on how to pump the darn thing up and how long it takes. But let's get onto that. And there you go. Let's talk a little bit about the quality, as you know I like to do in these in-depth reviews. And of course the sleeping pad's not in there, but let's start with what's in the box. Start. One of the items that comes in the box clearly is the pump sack. Alright, here's the big pump sack. I'll use this lid to blow it up. Let's go real quick right here. Take a look at quality of that as well. Open it up there, and I'll show you how to connect it later. I kind of just, this is always talk about how hikers and ultralighters are so caught up on weight. I get really caught up on quality. Single stitch bag. I'm not sure this is, they call it a stuff sack, pump sack, but I don't know how confident I'd feel on stuffing stuff in here. Here you go. A little bit of thread. Again, this is call it a mid review. I wouldn't call this a initial review or post review because I only use it for 75 miles. So let's call it a mid review. There it is. There's the pump sack in terms of the seams. You know, I'm really big on that. It also comes with its own stuff sack to put the thermarest in. But oddly enough, when I was out on the last section, I didn't use this. I used the Gossamer Gear stuff sack. And I left this back maybe because of the weight or because it was just too small. I couldn't get in there. It was just a pain in the butt to try to get back in this bag, or maybe I'm not folding it up the right way. Also, what comes in this box is a repair kit. Didn't have to use it. It's got alcohol wipes, a couple patches. Pretty high quality. Instruction booklet. Don't eat it or suffocate in it. And also the warranty. That is in the box. And on to the sleeping pad. I'd like to check it out. Start up at the top, and as you can see, as we start to, I mean, yeah, that's right there at the edge. It seems to be thick enough there, maybe quarter inch all the way around. And then if I check the bottom of the bag, how is it at the bottom? And it's got about the same length. Ah, incorrect. It's a little thicker at the bottom in terms of the ending and where the seam is tight. So it seems pretty robust at the bottom, but more importantly, you've got this mechanism which they call the wing lock right there. And that is a double twist, right? So you take it, twist to the left and left, and when you want to tighten it, twofold. Left, sorry, that was closed before, that's open. That'll let the air deflate, you push it in, the air goes out, and then when you want to tighten it, of course, you've got a twofold. You've got the wing lock, and then you've got the actual valve, which tightens. Again, lefty-loosey, lefty-loosey, and it feels pretty robust. Feels good right there. It feels like right there. You know what I mean? Feels good and tight. It's a good robust build. And then I'll show you how to connect it to the pump sack here in a bit. So what you want to do at this point, pop open the little pump sack and you loosen this and loosen it, and then you pop it in. That's how I do it anyway. Then you can begin. That way the air stays sealed when you do it. And the reason why I loosen it before I tighten it, I don't know, just kind of an OCD thing. I guess you don't necessarily have to do that. You can just pop it on. But it is what it is. That's how I do it. Then you start adding air at the top of here, and then you pump it up. And Unicorn's going to show you how to do that here in a little bit. But once again, it's pretty easy, right? You just kind of pop it in and pop it out. Boom, 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 boom. Loosen it, loosen it. Pretty easy. Okay, so we're about to finally see if we can put the pump sack to the test. I'm going to time Unicorn here. She's going to connect it and inflate it. Once I click the start, you probably can't see this right now. I'll put it out here. Probably can't see it, but I'm going to click start on my phone right now.
And that's it.
Okay, so I just stopped it. I'm not sure if you can probably see it. Maybe it's too dark, but it's 1:03. So it'd be under a minute if it was already connected, but I'm going to say because of the prep and the connection. Now, granted, when you're in the tent, that's going to be a different setting, but not bad. Just around a minute to get everything connected. Yep, right around a minute. All right, so the fun stuff. How does it fit? So, being that I shrunk a few inches, I used to be 6'5", but I'm about 5'7" and a half, and I think Unicorn is 5'3" last I checked. And I guess if you're a 6'5" person like me that shrunk to 5'7" and a half, this would work. Or if I guess you're a woman around that size, or for a guy that wants to be a woman that size, whatever your pleasure. This might be the pad for you. And so I'm going to show you how it fits. 5'7" and a half. I used to be 6'5", 5 and a half. And I brought my tape measure so you can see. And yes, I am also a side sleeper, so inside of the tent it's different. Pumping up in the tent it's different, and also sleeping in the tent is different. For the sake of the demo, here it is. It's great for side sleeping. Doesn't really make that much noise either. See, this is my feet. Sometimes when they extend, I just put my backpack down at the bottom, and I put my feet, and I kick it at the end. I use the triplex from Z-Packs. As you can see, I'm sitting on I think this is a 1/8. This is from Gossamer Gear. That'll be for a different time to talk about. But as you can see, it's not too noisy. Right? And it's really holding up. And it held up when we were out on our section, as I was previously talking about. Pretty good. So let's see. Let's stop this from slipping too, that pad. I'm getting the end. Looks like it's like 65 and a half inches. So about 65 and a half inches long, just from doing it like that without a complete science. And right here in the middle, we've got like 19 inches wide there in the middle. About 14 inches wide at the bottom. And right at the top, do it this way. Right at the top, it's looking like 17, 18 inches wide there. So yeah, those are the dimensions of the Thermarest NEOAIR XLITE for women, or for men, or all the above. And if you're the correct size. And it really helped me shave a few ounces off. I know I previously used the Uberlite, but we just discussed why we decided to make the switch. Other than that, that's how it sits. We're going to get on to the next part of the review. Alright, let's weigh this bad boy right here. But for the sake of it, I'll put a noodle strainer on there. Looks like it weighs 6 ounces. I'll tear it. 0 ounces. Here it is. NEOAIR XLITE Women's. 12.3 ounces. I'm guessing that extra 0.3 might be because there's a little bit of air in it. Fair enough. Once again, let's see if you can take a look at it. 12.3. Good enough. So after all that is said and done, in terms of the product, 70 miles, about a week in the woods, slept on my side, about 30 degrees, kept us really warm. The only thing I'm really going to have to say is I wish it were lighter. I wish the Thermarest NEOAIR XLITE, this is the women's edition. I do wish it was a little lighter. So I'm actually going to have to dock it a point. You know, give it a 4 out of 5. So 4 out of 5 because a company like Thermarest certainly has the backing to increase the technologies to be able to get us some lighter gear. It was, I think, 12 ounces. I want the same qualities, but I want it lighter, so I'm getting greedy. But besides the fact, it worked out great. We'll continue to use it. I'll show you some of the more ins and outs of how it worked in the field on our section videos. I'm still getting my Vietnam videos up. It's taking a lot of work. It's a lot more work than I thought. So we'll get some of those sections up. Thank you for being patient on some of those videos that I've just been talking about forever. But I'm getting the Vietnam videos up right now, and I will continue to use this. It's a good product. I just wish it were a little bit lighter and a little bit smaller, and I kept some of the same values. But besides that, it worked out great. Again, really, one thing I do want to talk about before giving the 4 out of 5. Great product. I don't put price. Someone pinged me on price. I don't include price into the reviews simply because I don't believe that matters, because the free market, it fluctuates the price and time changes. So whether you get it at the dollar store, you have to break the bank for it. I just want gear that works. That's what matters to me. Does it work? If it's $1, does it work? And does it work the best? If it's $300, does it work? So to me, I don't really put that into the equation of my rating. It's just whether it works or not. But in any case, I like the product. I don't know if I love it. This is a mid-review because we've only put a week into it and 70 miles. But appreciate your attention, and hit the like button, subscriptions, really appreciate. Once again, Instagram is Unicorn Explorers is the wife, and my Instagram is Rental Explorers. I'll put that at the bottom as well. I'm on Reddit once in a while, but I really appreciate if y'all can hit me up there or subscribe here. We're going to be releasing some more product reviews and some more videos soon, and hopefully we'll be back out on the trail after all the madness stops. But thank you very much for your time today, and we'll catch everyone on the other side. Right, Wookie?